Hey folks, Post here, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and today I'm gonna go over something that's, I guess, been, I want to say controversial, but I don't even know why this is controversial. It's not supposed to be controversial, it's just numbers, but apparently it's controversial, and that is single pulls versus multi-summons. So, apparently there's a, I guess, vocal minority out there that think multi summons, which is the sync pair scout times 10, is better than sync pair scout or your regular single pulls, which is just factually untrue. So I guess we'll go over why that is in a bit. So let's first examine what these summons are. So what you get from a sync pair scout, which is a single summon, what you get from a single summon is you spend 300 gems and you get a single summon, right? You get a single unit. That's pretty straightforward. This one is you spend 3,000 gems and you get 10. What are the rates? So these are the rates for both singles and multis. So, for example, this banner, this is Cynthia banner, this is a Pokefair banner, so you have a slightly increased chance of 5 stars, right? So you got 10% for 5 stars, 20% for 4 stars, 70% for 3 stars, and your rates for these characters, each unit is as follows. They're obviously all the same. So, what's the difference between a single summon versus a multi-summon? So, the difference between a single summon and a multi-summon is single summon is just one summon. A multi-summon is 10 one summons. What is the difference there? The only difference is the multi-summon, you do it 10 at a time. What are the differences in rates? 0. There's no difference between rates. There's no difference between a single summon rates versus a multi-summon rates. There literally is no difference. There's no increased rates. You don't get guaranteed units. It's not cheaper. It's none of that. So I know a lot of other gacha games, they give you bonuses for doing multis, which I wish Pokemon Masters did, but they're not doing that. Pokemon Masters are just making singles and multis the exact same rates. There's literally no reason to do multis. Oh, actually, there is actually one reason, which we'll get to in a bit, to do multis over singles. Like, for example, Dokkan Battle. Again, I just use Dokkan Battle for an example because, it's a popular gacha game. People play it a lot. And, I play it a lot as well. So, for Dokkan Battle, they have it so that every single multi-summon that you do, you guarantee an SSR at the final slot. So, you're guaranteed to get an SSR, which in this context, in the Pokemon Masters context, it's like if you did a multi-pull, you are guaranteed your last unit to be a 5-star. Again, that is not the case in Pokemon Masters. It is not the case at all. The rates are the same. That's what Dokkan Battle does. For example, Digimon Re-Rise, which I also cover on this channel. What they do is for multi-summons, they give you one free. So you're getting, so if you do, so a single pull on that game is 200, or a single pull is 20 rubies. And then a multi-summon is 200 rubies. And the difference is you get one summon per 200 rubies with a single, or 20 rubies per single pull. And then for the 200 pull, you get one extra. So it's 10 plus 1. They give you a plus 1 at the end. And also the plus 1 has slightly higher rates. And also the plus 1 is guaranteed at least a gold. Which, in this context, well, it's hard to throw in this context because golds are kind of useless in Digimon Re-Rise, unfortunately. But you do have slightly higher rates to get something decent in a multi-summon for, again, Digimon Re-Rise. In Pokemon Masters, this is not the case. You do not get increased rates. You don't get bonus pulls. You don't get discounts. You don't get guaranteed units. You get nothing from a multi-summon. The only difference between a single pair scout, a single summon versus a multi-summon is that multi-summons are quicker. They're just quicker, right? you press one button and then you're done. Like with single player, you have to like do this and then come back out and then do that again, and rinse and repeat. But why do people and I was wondering, why do people keep on saying, oh, do multis are better. And when I look closer at the comments, most of the comments say something along the lines of, they go, something like, oh, do multis. I got XXX amount of 5 stars in multis. Multis are better. Multis are clearly better because I got Cynthia. I got whatever, right? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is confirmation bias. For those of you who don't know, here's a Wikipedia article on confirmation bias. So confirmation bias, I'll just read it real quick. Confirmation bias is a tendency to search for, interpret, favor, or recall information in a way to affirm one's prior beliefs or hypotheses. It is a type of cognitive bias and a systematic error of inductive reasoning. People display this bias when they gather or remember information selectively, or when they interpret it in a biased way. The effect is stronger for desired outcomes, for emotionally charged issues, and for deeply entrenched beliefs. So we'll not talk about that last issue because it's apparently it is actually kind of emotionally charged, but it's not supposed to be. It's just a game. It's not some deeply entrenched. I guess it is deeply entrenched beliefs for some people, but basically, it means people think that it is true that multi-summons are better because of their personal experience, because they've gotten really good units off of multi-pulls instead of single pulls. And, people say, well, they'll think, well, I don't care about the rates. I don't care that they're exactly the same rates. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about, the fact that there's actually no benefit to doing multis over singles except for the, I guess, time saving thing. And they'll just say, well, it happened to me, so I think this is the case. I will not look at the data. I will not look at the numbers. I will not look at the facts. It just feels that way. I feel like multis are better, which unfortunately in this case is not true. Again, I wish multis were better. I wish multis were better than singles. I wish multis, gave us bonuses. They gave us guaranteed units, gave us, discounts or whatever. But again, that is unfortunately not the case. So back to the game. So now folks know that's confirmation bias. So now let's go into why single summons are better than multi-summons. So when you do a multi-summon, you spend 3,000 gems at once, and that 3,000 gems nets you 10 units. And you cannot stop in between it. You can't stop pulling it. You can't cut it in half. You can't cut, you can't, just take some units that you want and then throw away the other units that you don't want. So when you're doing a multi-summon, you commit completely to the 3,000 gems and the 10 pulls that you get out of it. In comparison, with the 300 single summons, you do not have to commit to any sort of amount except for the 300 gems that you spend on that single summon. The only gems you have to commit are the 300 per pulls. So what that means is, if you do single summons and you summon, like for example, if you want Cynthia, let's use Cynthia as an example. If you want Cynthia, you do single summons, and once you actually get Cynthia, you could stop doing single summons. So for example, if you get Cynthia in, let's say, 5,600 gems, that's what, should have used a smaller number for example so I could do the math quicker. Let's see, how much is a pull? 300, 5,600, I don't know. I'll do a small number. Again, Asian dude, bad at math, unfortunately. Let's say you get Cynthia in like 2,100 gems, which is 7 pulls, right? So once you get Cynthia, you could stop summoning. Then that means you spent 2,700 gems to get Cynthia. If you do a multi-summon and you get Cynthia in your first pull of the multi-summon, you get Cynthia. How much gems did you spend getting Cynthia? 3,000. You spent 3,000. Even if Cynthia is your first pull of the multi, you still spent that 3,000. And if all the other whatever you got is just absolute garbage, then or it doesn't have to be garbage. It could be good stuff as well. But going for Cynthia, you just spent 3,000 gems instead of what could have been, I guess, 2.7 gems on single. Okay, that's a really, really bad comparison. Let's say you got okay, let's say again you got your Cynthia in 2.7k gems in single pulls, right? And then you got Cynthia as your 7th character in your multi-summon. Again, both are off your 7th pull. Both are off your 7th pull. In single summons, you only spent 2.7k gems to get it. And in multi-pulls, you spent 3,000. So you spent much more gems. Actually, what? That's not 7th pull. That's the 9th pull if you spent 2.7k. Again. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. Haven't really slept in too much. I actually went to bed yesterday at 8 in the morning just doing videos. But anyways, forgive my terrible math over here. But basically, you guys get the point, right? On one side, you only spent 2.7k gems. On the other side, you spent 3,000 gems. Same example. Let's say you get Cynthia in let's say 4 pulls. That's what, 1.2k gems, right? In single pulls. And then you get Cynthia in your multi on your 4th pull in the multi. You still spend 3,000 gems. That's what? How much is that? You spent what, 1,800 more gems on that summon. I guess it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear now that single summons are better than multi-summons. It's extremely simple. It's extremely simple. People, but they still, again, confirmation bias. And I'm not blaming folks who do have confirmation bias. It's hard to, get over confirmation bias, right? I'm not blaming you if you thought that, if you ever said anything rude to me because of that. It doesn't matter. I don't mind. Again, I completely understand confirmation bias. It's hard to get past, right? So hopefully this clears some stuff up, and hopefully now folks know it makes more sense to do single pulls instead of multiples until they implement any bonuses for multis. And if they don't implement any bonus for multis, there's no point in doing multis. Ever. There's no point. Unless, again, you want to save time on your pulls, which I guess go ahead. But you're basically spending gems to just so you can get quicker pulls. But anyways, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this cleared up some stuff for folks. If you have any further questions, let me know in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video. Subscribe to your channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. And I'll see you guys in the next one.